Welcome, dear traders, it's me, Kate Stichina, and you are watching a recap of the Asian session. We can now say, I think for the first time, that the disinflationary pressures has started, Jerome Powell said yesterday at the press conference. Many currencies rose sharply following his statement. Bulls regain full control of the stock market. After the Fed's key decision, Wall Street resumed a strong upward movement. The stock markets in Japan, Australia and in New Zealand also climbed. A 25 basis point rate hike hardly surprised anyone. Traders priced it a long time ago, and at this light they were largely focused on Jerome Powell's speech. They were hoping to receive some clues about the future plans for monetary policy. Judging by a sharp rise in assets, they were content with his answers. What did Powell say yesterday? To start with, he acknowledged the disinflationary process. On top of that, he hinted at a possible dovish reversal provided that inflation would decline at a faster pace. He also believes that the Fed will be able to get inflation back down to 2% without a really significant downturn or a really significant increase in unemployment. At the same time, Powell warned that it's too early to declare victory over inflation. He stressed that a rate cut in 2023 will hardly take place. We will need substantially more evidence to be confident that inflation is on a long, sustained downward path. Investors perceived his speech as a dovish, and analysts also supposed that the Fed could take a pause in monetary tightening after the March meeting. If so, demand for risky assets will increase markedly, especially amid relatively high inflation. Consumer prices are still far from the 2% target. As traders are more confident in the soft landing scenario, bullish sentiment is now prevailing in the stock market. The US dollar index took a nosedive following the meeting. It's likely to drop deeper today after the rate decisions of the ECB and the Bank of England, and they are expected to be more hawkish than the Fed was. This is why the greenback could slide lower versus its main rivals. Since yesterday, it has already lost more than 1%. In the Asian session, it was trading at 101 points, and the yield of a 10-year government bonds went down as well. It sank to 3.39%, approaching the lows of April 2022. The US dollar index reached a 9-month low, and the world disinflation, or simply decrease in inflation, pushed once almighty dollar in a downward channel. In the morning, it was moving in the bearish corridor of 100.80 and 101.00. The euro and the commodity currencies rose the most amid a steep decline in the US dollar. However, the yen also managed to climb to 128.60. Apart from the Fed's dovish rhetoric and the falling US government bond yields, it appreciated amid internal factors. Bank of Japan Deputy Governor Masazumi Wakatabe made hawkish remarks, and he said that the December decision to expand the yield range was necessary to make government bonds more stable. He added that the main goal is to return inflation to 2%. The policymaker also admitted that the regulator could make further tweaks to its policy of yield curve control. Yen bulls took notice of his speech, so the dollar-yen pair entered the range of 128.20 and 128.90. The Australian currency jumped amid a fall in the US dollar and optimism on Wall Street. In the morning, it soared to an 8-month high of 0.7154. After that, its growth slowed down. It was consolidating in the range of 0.7128 and 0.7160. The Aussie seems to have finally broken out of the channel formed before September last year, so it could resume the bullish cycle. The next Reserve Bank of Australia meeting will be held on February 7. Given the galloping inflation in Australia, the regulator's rate decision may surprise traders. This is why its rally is limited, and yet in the Asian session the Aussie received support from rising oil prices and the risky assets and climbed to 0.7141. The New Zealand dollar also moved up against the US currency. However, its upward potential is weaker compared to the Aussie. New Zealand is dealing with the consequences of a severe flooding, which caused landslides, the disruption of homes, and the closure of the highways. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand meeting is on tap on February 22, and the kiwi is growing at a more moderate pace. In the Asian session, it was moving in the range of 0.6500 and 0.6538. Eventually, it reached 0.6528. Don't miss the opportunity to multiply your profit. To do so, you need to keep abreast of the latest market news, and you will always keep your finger on the pulse if you watch our video reviews. Hit the subscribe button and increase your profit with us. See you soon.